and reinforced by the people united will never be defeated.
Today was a wild day on Capitol Hill. Ahead of and during the Senate Judiciary hearing, there have been huge crowds of activists and protesters all over Capitol Hill today. Outside of the office buildings, there have been protests and lines to get into even the overflow room for watching the hearing. The lines for that room were incredibly long, with hundreds and hundreds of people lining up to get in the room that isn't even the room. The second floor of the Dirksen Senate office building, where the hearing was taking place, was essentially closed off to anyone without a staff or press credential. Even press were highly limited. That is in part due to security and also part of the negotiation with Christine Blasey Ford and the committee as to her safety and comfort for this testimony. Outside the Senate office buildings early Thursday morning, before the hearing even began, there was a sizable protest of pro-Kavanaugh people from the Heritage Foundation and from Concerned Women of America. Inside the Hart Senate office building, there was an enormous protest with hundreds of mostly anti-Kavanaugh activists and protesters. For the most part, it was a calm and quiet protest. Many women stood silently with their fists held in the air. Many were wearing black and had posters that they were not permitted to raise into the air. In general, active demonstrations are not usually allowed in House and Senate office buildings. However, they are public spaces. Many had signs with them and had been holding those signs outside of the buildings, outdoors, but when they came inside, those had to be put away. There was another demonstration in Hart, this one led by Tarana Burke of the Me Too movement.
Dr. Ramirez to Dr. Ford.
I'm there wrapping my arms around you. Dr. Ramirez to Dr. Ford.
Excuse me, just to advise you that what you're doing is a form of a demonstration, and if you continue, if you don't cease and desist, you could be arrested.
That protest ended up being moved because they did not want arrests again to take place, and they moved singing out of the Hart Senate office building towards the Supreme Court. Later Thursday afternoon, 59 protesters were arrested near the Supreme Court building. The protesters arrested were representing the Women's March group. From what I saw on Capitol Hill Thursday, the anti-Kavanaugh demonstrations were much larger than the pro-Kavanaugh demonstrations, but of course pro-Kavanaugh leaders are running Congress and the White House right now, so the protest size will likely not have a huge bearing on the outcome.